I'm going to take a slightly different approach here, but I will say I put all my heart on paper. I'm going to read it to you. Good evening. My name's Ralls. I'm here to tell you a lot of things about Cameron that you likely don't know. I prepared this speech, and it starts with a famous quote I once heard long ago. I have a crippling fear of commitment by Cameron Watford Dowling. No, buddy, you dove headfirst into this one, didn't you? No baby steps, just straight into marriage. You know? Better buckle up, dude. Most of you here should know Cameron has never been able to commit to anything. I'll put it this way: he was the last one to commit to his bachelor trip. However, back in the teenage years, there was one thing that he was 100% committed to: Tommy Leanne's weekend curfew. I'd love to know the punishment for being late, because Cameron wouldn't miss his curfew for anything. Even if it meant he had to ignore a friend in need. I'll come back to that later. Mine and Cameron's friendship started when we were about 4 years old. My mother moved my family from Birmingham back to Gadsden to raise us. Cameron and I played a lot of sports growing up. We both loved everything about sports, and I think that's where we bonded the most. The neighborhood guys spent a ton of time at the Dowling's house because this house had it all. It had a pool, a hot tub, ping pong table, a pool table, a basketball goal, and a smoking hot older sister. You name the sport, we played it. The first sport I remember playing with Cameron was soccer. Excuse my French, but I played midfield and Cameron played ass back. You know, he'd try to run on the field and the coach would say, "Get your ass back here." Truthfully, Cameron was a unique athlete. You know, he was right-handed but left-footed. In soccer, it's very important to be able to kick with both feet, even if one leg's stronger than the other. No, Cameron could never kick with his right foot. Never even tried to. I remember one game specifically where I passed the ball to a wide-open Cameron. Instead of taking the easy shot with his right foot, he practically ran a huge circle and set up for the left-footed shot. Totally blew the goal-scoring opportunity, and that's where our friendship came to an end. Interesting fact about Cameron you should know: he can clap without his hands touching. Cameron. That's so cool. Like, he's very talented. You're so talented, Cameron. That's interesting, man. How exciting. Claire, you probably know this by now, but if you see him doing this, it means he's really excited about something. So if you see him doing this before bedtime, you better get on the lingerie or run for the hills. Or just tell him you have tummy cramps. That works for my wife. After I found out Cameron could do this, you know, I really questioned whether we could remain friends for a long time. I couldn't risk being seen in public with him while attractive women were trying to figure out whether he has Asperger's or Tourette's. I just accepted it was a quirk I'd have to put up with, but I just didn't think he'd be doing it 20 years later. Now, the curfew story I mentioned earlier. High school, summer 2009, I was sitting in my truck in the parking lot. I was waiting on two friends to show up to confront me about an issue they had with a gal I was seeing. I must add, these friends were intoxicated friends, very angry friends. Therefore, I had a feeling these friends might try to go all WWE SmackDown on me. So I needed to defend myself, and 2-on-1 wasn't going to be fair, so I needed some backup. I picked up my Verizon BlackBerry, called my best friend Tanner, and then it dawned on me, 2 on 1.5 isn't fair either. So I called Cameron. No answer. I texted him, no response. I called him again. He sent me a voicemail. A few moments later, I look up and see Cameron driving by, turning into his neighborhood. I flash my lights at him, he flashes them back, honks the horn, he keeps on going. At this point, I knew there was no hope. So I went back to my last resort, Tanner, and sent him a text to let him know what was likely going down. Sure enough, these obnoxious, intoxicated, angry friends show up looking for an ass whooping, and I gave it to them. Well, let me pick back up here. As soon as the scrap ended, my best friend Tanner drives up. Although he was a minute too late, he was there, and that's what counts. He saw two guys looking like scared dogs with his tails tucked. You know, it took full advantage of getting up in their faces to share his thoughts. It was a big and bad moment for Tanner. I'm sure it made him feel 5 feet tall. After realizing my finger was completely broken, I had him drive me to the ER. And well, what do you know? At that time, text from Cameron Dowling. Hey man, did you call? Yeah, buddy, I did. I sure did call you several times. Now I have to live with this crooked finger, but at least you made curfew. Next story comes from my freshman year of high school. Now I'll get straight to the point with this one. I found myself expecting my oldest daughter, Aubrey, when I was only 16 years old. I was scared to death, it was weighing on me, and I needed to tell someone. I decided I would break the news to Cameron first. So, we were on an away baseball game. For the record, I played pitcher and Cameron played left out of the game. Anyways, we were hanging in the dugout waiting to take the field, and I broke the news to Cameron. He paused for a long time, and he gave me some words of wisdom I'll never forget. He said, "See what happens when you miss curfew?" That's just a joke. He actually looked like he saw a ghost and was shocked. He definitely was not doing the clapping thing. Then we had to take the field, or at least I did. And after the first inning, I think Cameron was still processing what I told him. It was very quiet. After the second inning, and after watching Cameron miss several fly balls in the outfield, we came back into the dugout. Cameron walked over to me and sat down and said, "Dude, I have no idea how you're playing right now. I can't even focus." After the game, we had a long bus ride back to talk. And at a time where I truly needed someone to listen, Cameron was there and did exactly that. He assured me it was all going to work out. During that next year, I had a lot of people judge me, and a lot of people turn their backs. But Cameron did not. He stuck by my side, defended me on several occasions, and was always there to listen to me. And that's the definition of a true friend, if you ask me, and I'll always be grateful for that. So in a short moment of seriousness, I'd like to say thank you, bro. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We're only halfway through, all right? I could go on forever about the high school days, from rolling my mom's car down the street to sneak out when we were 15, to sipping Evan Williams' Green Label atop Somerset Drive. Sadly, those glory days are long behind us, as are the days of college. Cameron was in Auburn doing the frat thing. I was at Birmingham Southern playing baseball. I did get to spend a couple weekends down at Auburn with Cameron. One of those weekends, we found ourselves being kicked out of Sky Bar for fighting. Hard to believe, I know. I guess it was our turn to be those obnoxious, intoxicated, angry guys and confront an old schoolmate who kept trying to steal our girlfriends. He had it coming, didn't he, Camo? He had it coming. So in the end, Cameron made up for his absence in the parking lot throwdown. While writing the speech, something occurred to me. I made the trip to Auburn to support Cameron in his pursuit of fraternity glory. Helped him in the bar fight, held his legs for keg stands, helped him choose the right game day polo. However, Cameron never made it to Birmingham to support my pursuit on the baseball field. I guess watching D3 baseball is about as exciting as watching Auburn football. But it's got to be pretty close. As of today, not only are we still good friends, but Cameron and I have also been working together for the last 5 years. Cameron is the director of pre-construction, and I'm the director of finance. Ultimately, what that means is Cameron gets paid to guess the numbers, and I get paid to get them exactly right. As Cameron would say, he's just an estimator, not an exactimator. It took me a while, but I was able to recruit Cameron from B.L. Harper over to Raider McCary. Had I not done this, Cameron and Claire might have never crossed paths again. Let me explain. For what I know, Cameron and Claire had always had a little thing for each other and an interest in one another, but the timing was never right. The spark was lit when they ran into each other at a company event. So I think I get a tad bit of credit for these two lovebirds crossing paths again. You can thank me later, Claire. Just give my kids free braces or something later. So yes, the real part of Cameron and Claire's story begins at the company event, the annual chili cook-off. Cameron, 6 high noons in, wearing his white apron, serving Claire a 3-ounce sampler of our cornmeal chili recipe. Wow, you two just love burgers. So romantic. All right, I didn't know Claire growing up, but I knew her Gasson family. Her Aunt Kathy and my mom were great friends, played lots of tennis together over the years. Her cousin Cantrell was a great athlete, used to humble me with some one-on-one driveway basketball. I used to miss shots on purpose so she'd have to block me out. That was tough. All right, after Cameron started dating Claire, I've been around Claire a handful of times, but truly got to know her on a ski trip last year. My wife and I planned a ski trip with some friends and needed a third couple to join us. I mentioned it to Cameron, and he said he'd think about it. This meant there was absolutely no chance he was coming. Lo and behold, Claire worked her magic, and Cameron soon committed to the trip. We went to Steamboat Springs, Colorado. And none of the girls had really skied before, so they did a half-day lesson, and Claire picked it up very quickly. She was absolutely crushing the bunny slopes the rest of the trip. Claire, must admit, I had you pegged as more of the beauty queen type, but it looks like you inherited some of those Ellis athletic genes after all. So maybe we should go play one-on-one basketball sometime. On this ski trip, I found that Claire was incredibly easy to be around. She was kind, warm-hearted, had a genuine personality that showed she cared. She cared to get to know all of us on a personal level, and it felt like she had been part of our friend circle for years. I knew she was right for Cameron because I could see he had finally let his guard down. She found a way to get to his heart, and he finally seemed content. I specifically remember a nice dinner we had on the trip where we had a wine sommelier. I prefer to say wine expert. I'm not a big wine guy. But Cameron was over there with his pinky towards the sky, sniffing stuff, and Claire was using Italian words I'd never heard of. They were the perfect match. What I remember most about that dinner was Claire being the life of the party. She was chatting it up with our waiter, and he was showing her how to fold dinner napkins into animal shapes. Point being, Claire made that dinner fun and memorable. She could have easily been the shy new person, but instead she chose to be herself, and I loved that about her. There were no awkward moments on that trip, except when I found out Claire could have uncontrollable laughing episodes. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you must witness this firsthand. If you're having a bad day, all you need to do is call Claire, find a way to trigger this episode, and your soul will be healed. In fact, it's sort of contagious. The amount of joy and laughter I watched Cameron get out of that told me that he loved Claire unconditionally. She made him happy, and I'm a little bit jealous Cameron gets to experience that forever, but I hope that I'm there for a few more of those laughing episodes. I'm sure some of you are speculating, so I have to disclose this. Colorado edibles did not cause these laughing events. They could have extended the length, but we'll never know for sure. One last interesting fact about the group. Cameron has never made a hole-in-one, but he got to watch me make one. Remember that, Cameron? I certainly did. It sure is one heck of a feeling, isn't it, Tanner? Absolutely. It's incredible, man. I mean, you get to talk about it forever. I mean, it truly is a lifetime achievement. You know, it's only few people get to experience. I mean, it's probably one of the best feelings in the world. You get to tell people about it forever. No one can ever take it away from you. It's just fulfilling and hard to put into words. As great of a feeling as it may be, there's only one feeling that tops it. Watching Alabama complete a 4th and 31 to beat Auburn in Iowa. Can I get a In reality, there's only two feelings that top that. One of those being the moment your child is born into this world, and the other being the moment you say I do to the woman of your dreams. That's something not everyone gets to experience, and something you should really tell everyone about forever. And you, my friend, are about to experience that with Claire, so soak it up and enjoy it. Cameron and Claire, I say this to you both. Marriage can be great, but it comes with difficult times. During those times, commit to never giving up on one another and rely on your faith in God's word to get you through it. Making it through those difficult times is what makes your love grow stronger. Do not expect your marriage to succeed without effort. You get out of it what you put in. So be intentional about working on your marriage. Cameron, you're getting a kind-hearted soul who is selfless, knows her wines, can cook for you, and hit the ski slopes. Claire, you're getting a stubborn little boy who can clap in one hand and make a hell of a gin martini. But don't expect much more. Now, if everyone will raise their glass for a toast. I'm going to end this speech with a famous quote I heard a long time ago. Do not look for the faults in one another, but search for the hidden blessings. By Ralls Pennington. Great quote, I know. Cameron and Claire, I'm excited for you both. I love you both. I look forward to watching you two have a happy and successful marriage. Cheers.
Good job. Peter, you caught so many strays, man.
Always.